Hello, class. Can you believe that we are in the last week for our class? Oh my, oh my, oh my. Welcome to week 15. It's our final week of the semester. You made it. Over the past 14 weeks, you've explored every phase of the human life course from infancy through adulthood and examined how development is shaped by biology, culture, systems, and structural factors. We've applied theories, discussed identity, trauma, neurodevelopment, resilience, and engaged with real world narratives that show the complexity of the human experience. Your insights and reflections have been thoughtful and powerful. Thank you so much for bringing your voice to this class. This week is our last week. We're going to turn our attention to late adulthood. We'll explore U.S. aging demographics, the impact of COVID 19, and the role of cultural narratives and ageism in shaping the experience of older adults. You'll also reflect on psychological and biological changes, role transitions, and how we as social workers can ethically and effectively assess and support older adults. Here's what you need to complete this week. You're reading in chapter 16 in your textbook. You're going to watch the module presentations and complete your knowledge checks like normal. Activity 15.1 is for you to participate in the group project discussion. Um, Please watch your classmates' presentations and leave a video comment on at least one. Think of it as our collective goodbye space. Share a takeaway, a reaction, or something meaningful. And then your final exam, part one, is a 20 question multiple choice test. It's open book, open note. You'll have 60 minutes, and it is due on, let me see, May 11th at 11:59. Your exam part two is to select a macro theory and a developmental theory to analyze Kanwani. Essay and context. We actually had a welcome video last week, thanks to Mia. So thank you for that. Um, and then you're going to upload your responses, answering all five prompts. Also by May 11th. Make sure to cite your sources and use APA formatting. As you move through this week, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. You developed these tools to think critically about human behavior in the context of environment, systems, and culture, and more importantly, how to bring this into your social work practice with compassion and clarity. I'm so proud of the work that you've done. And definitely, if you need any support, please let me know. I think what I wanted to let you know is that I know we had a rough start, that the online program can be a lot of juggling with your schedule and just really managing all of the different tasks and activities that go along in the course. Um, Typically, with any online program, like I said, I've taught in various online programs, and typically in an online program, they're going to have all of the classes set up similarly. So if you were able to kind of master your schedule and your time management for this class, you should be great going forward. Even if you struggled a little bit, you'll be able to adapt and to really be flexible as you move forward through the curriculum. One thing, my key takeaway, I know I was a stickler for APA and a stickler for citing your work, but that is just a scholarly skill that you will use in every class. So, especially in online, and with any assignment that you do, just make sure that you are citing your course materials. That's going to be your main thing. So continue to cite your course materials. Continue to put it in your response, and then also at the end. And everyone did a pretty good job at that. And that skill is going to move you forward. Um, Literally, I would say by halfway through, all of the responses, all of your work was really, really good. And it wasn't something where I had to, like, you know, be like, oh my gosh, I have to read this. It was really, really good. You all are doing a great job. You're dedicated to your academic performance, and you're doing great. I am trying to make sure that everything is graded. Obviously, the finals will be taking a little bit of time to grade, but you should have a really good understanding about where you are. I did notice that some people have some assignments missing. So I want you to go through your grade book, look and see if you have any assignments that are zero, and reach out to me to see, if you would like to, you could just let it be a zero if it's not really affecting your grade, or if you feel like you need to submit it, just reach out to me so that we can come up with a plan of how to do that. Um, Via email. Reach out to me via email so I'll make sure I respond. But other than that, you are right at the home stretch. You do have, for the multiple choice, you do have a study guide that I provided, and it's also going to be on this announcement as well. So if there's any clarity that is needed, please let me know, and I will definitely make sure I send it out. What you have accomplished for this class is learning foundational theories for human behavior. And understanding human behavior is so, so, so crucial for social work practice. Um, in those that want to do clinical work or in macro work, both human behavior is going to be major. Also, in the licensure, human behavior, you're going to see this information on there. And the way that you're going to see the information is you're going to see how human behavior in terms of childhood development, how the stages impact your client's understanding. So typically it will say that parents are they have this behavior from their child. They think that there's something wrong with their child. And a lot of times it fits within normal development. It's just that they needed more education on it. And so you'll be able to say, okay, let me normalize this behavior. Or if it falls on the outside of the normal range, you'll be able to say, okay, I need to do further assessment and figure out what's really going on here. So that's kind of how human behavior you'll see it come up on the exam. A lot of the things that we talked about are also connected to therapeutic approaches, but you will learn in other classes more about those different therapeutic approaches. But it is often connected to some of those theory behaviors that we talked about, right? Because if you're thinking about cognitive theory, then you're going to treat the cognition, right? If you're thinking about psychodynamic or psychoanalytic theory, then you're going to treat those internal conflicts, and those things that are affecting the childhood, and see how that relates to their current behavior. So these things are foundational. Once you get to the level where you're ready to graduate, you'll be hopefully with me in licensure prep, and we'll be prepping you on how to make sure you are ready for the entire exam. But human behavior will definitely be a part of that. I'm so excited, as this is your next level to your MSW journey. So continue, and please reach out. I am here for any type of mentoring. I love talking about social work. I love talking about social work careers. So if you would like to discuss kind of where you are and where you're going, and just to keep in touch, please do. I should be teaching child welfare probably every semester, the 727 class. So if you are interested in that, you know, hmm, I don't know if I'll be teaching the online 727, but I might. So look out for me. If not, definitely email me. And if you have any questions about your grades, please let me know. The earlier, the better. If you're seeing something that's concerning to you, please reach out and we can discuss it. Have a great week, and it's almost over. You're almost at the finish line. And I hope you have some great summer plans. All right. I will. It was a pleasure being your professor. Oh, also, if you can complete your course evaluations, that also helps not only with how the course is built, but also with how it was taught, how things were graded, all of those things. You can definitely respond. It really does help. And we definitely look at it and consider what you're saying to see how we can make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to work. But typically, what happens is that students are very, 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 very overwhelmed and stressed, and then they end up with a good grade. So typically, it might have been painful along the way, but you were able to do it. You were able to master it. You were able to get through the class and get that desired grade that you wanted. So I'm hoping that everyone is pretty good with their grades. But if not, please reach out to me and we can discuss it. And I hope you have a great summer.